Right then, you horrible lot. This week on Burntwolf Airsoft, I'm going to pass on a few tips to help you set up a team and explain some of the various pitfalls that often start a team's decline. Now, you really don't need anything more than a few mates to set up a small airsoft team. Keep things simple to start with. Just go out there with your chosen mates and have fun. Don't go straight in at the deep end and buy thousands of pounds worth of matching gear. Further down the line, you may want to think about getting some team patches in or some kind of uniform or theme. But it's up to you guys how much or little money you spend and how seriously you take things. There's nothing wrong with just going out there with a few mates and having a laugh. In fact, I often find it's these types of teams that last the longest, and kick the most ass for that matter. Organising when you're next playing is something best done face-to-face, I found, but setting up a Facebook page or group chat also helps if people live further afield. Next up, I'm going to talk about growing a team. Now this is where the real fun starts, I can tell you. So now you and all your mates are set up. You look like a ragtag militia. Barry's even made everyone patches out of egg boxes. But you've met a few people down at the airsoft field, and they want to join your merry band of men. Flattering, isn't it? Don't worry, that'll soon be replaced by a looming dread. Now, I've found that unless you really know a chap well, and have done for a number of years, it pays to give new members of a team a trial period. This is important for a number of reasons. Firstly, you're going to want to make sure that they take their hits. Seen it so many times where one player gives the whole team a bad name. You're also going to want to make sure that they gel well with the existing team members. Clashes of personality sometimes occur, and it's best to test the waters first, as it really sucks having to kick a player from a team after a few games. Sucks even worse if the player's just brought a uniform, a patch, and a matching riff, only to find out that Barry and the new guy hate each other's guts, and games are turning into an episode of Jeremy Kyle. I find that with new players and new team members, I'll sort of follow them about for a few games, see how they play the game and interact with other players before inviting them to join. Now, to talk about larger teams. So things have been going well. Numbers have expanded and your mass ranks of viewers make organising a game day a military exercise. This is where things often start to go a bit pear-shaped. With large numbers of people, there's always going to be some mini-drama or something like that going on in the background. It's important, if you want a team to survive the test of time, to address issues directly. If you're a team organiser, firmly and fairly sit people down and have a word. Do this away from the group. Don't turn the whole affair into a witch hunt and involve everyone else around you. If two people have a problem with each other, get them to sort it out amongst themselves. It's their beef, no need for everyone else to turn into a rancher. Organisation will be the key to keeping things running smoothly. Let everyone know where the next game is going to be played. Don't sweat it or pressure people when some people can't turn up. Everyone has lives outside of the hobby. I don't believe in ranks, silly things, but I do find that it helps to split players up into car-sized groups and keep in touch with the drivers. Give everyone a chance to suggest ideas for the team. Don't let a team develop a ruling class attitude. That's the fastest way to end up with a revolt on your hands. With large teams, I've often found that small groups of players will often form teams within the team. This is great in one hand, as large teams split up into small groups often work really well. And these small groups or squads will often have their own style that, if used correctly in conjunction with the rest of the team, can be absolutely devastating. There is, however, a tendency for these small groups of players to drift off and form their own team. Don't sweat it. This kind of thing's going to happen. It's the natural progression of things. Just see your team like a tree. It's grown to such a size that it's now bearing fruit that will go off into the world and make more teams. Often you'll find that as long as everyone's on good terms, that these mini-teams will often drift back to the group from time to time or turn up at big events, which is kind of nice. Bit more food for thought when it comes to big teams, and that's mix things up a little. If you're a large team that rents sites and you all play against each other, make sure the sides are balanced and mix regularly to avoid long-standing tensions building up. If, however, you're a very large team and normally only play against the public, consider splitting the team in two on smaller games to aid balancing. It can be a rather daunting sight on small games to see hordes of matching uniforms on the opposite team. Regardless of your team size, I often find it's important to have some team bonding sessions. That's bonding, not bondage sessions. Whatever you're into, though, I suppose. Throwing Having the odd team barbecue or pub meetup is a great way to socialize outside of the sport, and can also be a great opportunity to discuss where the team is going and how everyone wants to take things in future. One last bit of advice, I would say that for most people setting up a team, keep things to a manageable size. Once you start getting over the 20-player mark, get organized. And that's all for today's video. I hope it helps you set up your own team, gives you a bit of food for thought. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Anyway, back to what you were doing. That is,